好，下面再提最后2个问题。
Last 2 questions.
这位马同社记者。
Thank you. I'm from Morocco News Agency. In the light of the current economic crisis, what are the prospects of China-Africa relations? And another question, how could China be more engaged in solving some African conflicts, mainly Sahara in North Africa, and Darfur in East Africa? Thank you.
摩洛哥通讯社，面对现在国际金融危机，您对中非关系的发展有何展望？第二就是中国如何更加积极地参与在苏丹达尔富尔问题以及非洲北部一些冲突问题上的解决？
中国同非洲国家有着传统的友谊，今天中非的合作又登上了一个更高的台阶。
China and African countries enjoy traditional friendship, and cooperation between the two sides has been raised to a new level.
2006年举行了中非合作论坛峰会，胡锦涛主席代表中国政府宣布了支持非洲发展的8项举措。现在这些举措要么正在顺利进行，要么已经完成。
In 2006, the Summit of China-Africa Cooperation Forum was held in Beijing. On behalf of the Chinese government, President Hu Jintao announced 8 major policy measures supporting the development in African countries. Good progress is being made in the implementation of some of these measures, and some of these measures have already been completed.
我们也感谢非洲朋友们兄弟们在台湾设帐支持北京举办奥运会抗震救灾等方面所给予我们的巨大的支持。
We highly appreciate the tremendous support from our African friends and brothers on Taiwan, on Tibet, in hosting the Beijing Olympic Games, and in our fight against natural disasters.
有的国家元首跟我们国家领导人讲，我们国家太穷了，我们没有什么可以给你们的，我们给你们的就是我们的心。
Some leaders from some African countries told the Chinese leaders that our countries are too poor, that we have nothing to give you. All we can give you is a sincere heart.
我们很受感动。
We are deeply touched by this.
我们是心心相印的朋友兄弟。
We are very close brothers and friends.
胡锦涛主席前不久对非洲几国进行访问，就表示中国将一如既往的支持非洲的发展一如既往的支持提高非洲国家跟非洲地区在国际和地区事务中的发言权和代表性。
Not long ago, President Hu Jintao made a trip to some African countries. During the trip, he made it clear that China will continue to support African development and support a greater say and representation of African countries and the African continent as a whole in international and regional affairs.
我想讲一下，中国不是嫌贫爱富之辈。
I would like to say that China will not develop relations based on which country is a wealthy one or countries who are a poor one.
中国也不是嫌贫爱油之辈，油气
Nor is China a country that only pursues relations with the country because that country is rich in oil.
可以问问非洲没有石油的国家，没有天然气的国家，他们对中国的评价高，还是对其他国家的评价高？
You can ask whether some African countries without rich oil and gas reserves will have a better impression of China or other countries.
即使我们同非洲国家发展能源方面的合作，这也是互利共赢的。
Our energy and resource cooperation with African countries is based on mutual benefit.
非洲朋友们、兄弟们要把他们潜在的优势变成现实的优势，已经几百年了，还要让他们等下去吗？有人还要劝告他们等下去吗？这种劝告是道德的吗？
It has been hundreds of years since our African brothers and friends cherished the dream of translating their potentials into real strengths. Should someone still advise them to wait? And do you think such an advice is a moral one?
他们有资本做出这样的劝告吗？
Are they in a position to provide such advice?
中非的合作是互利共赢的，我相信今后这个合作还要发展。再说，同非洲国家发展互利合作的不单单是中国这一个新兴大国，其他的新兴国家都在发展，作何解释？
Our cooperation with Africa is based on mutual benefit. We will continue to pursue such mutually benefit and win-win cooperation. Besides, China is not the only big emerging country that is developing cooperation with Africa. There are many other emerging big countries having similar cooperation, and how would you explain that?
至于撒哈拉问题，我们希望有关各方通过协商对话能够得到妥善的解决。
On the issue in Sub-Sahara, I hope that the relevant parties will engage in dialogue and consultation for proper resolution.
关于达尔富问题，我们的立场是劝和促谈。
On the issue of Darfur, our position has always been to promote dialogue and peace talks.
我们希望这个关于达尔富尔的维和进程维和行动和谈判的正式谈判进程能够继续取得进展。
We hope to see continued progress in both peacekeeping operations and the political process in Darfur.
我们继续支持非盟、联合国和苏丹政府这个三方的主渠道来发挥这个主要的推进作用。
We will continue to support the role of the tripartite mechanism involving the African Union, the United Nations and the Sudanese government as the main channel.
我们向苏丹人民、向达尔富尔人民提供了很多的援助我们在向达尔富尔人民提供了1.4亿人民币的援助，我们还向非盟特派团和联合国信托基金提供了援助。我们在当地的、在非洲的在苏丹的公事也参与了打井这个提供学校必要的设备等等，更不要提我们已经是率先派出了多功能的这个工兵团去这个达尔富地区。
We have provided assistance to people in Sudan and people in Darfur. We have provided people in Darfur with aid goods worth 140 million RMB yuan. We have also made donations to the African Union mission in Sudan and the UN Trust Fund. Our companies in Sudan have helped sink wells or provide equipment to local schools in Darfur. Well, in addition, China is among the first to send a multifunctional contingent of engineering soldiers to Darfur.
我们希望达尔富尔问题早日得到解决。我们也希望各方呢多做对此有益的事，而不是相反。
We hope to see an early resolution of the Darfur issue, and we hope that all relevant parties will do things to facilitate this, not the opposite.
谢谢。
Thank you.